Okay, moving on here, we're going to do much like we did in an earlier example and track something. So I'm going to set up a scene here to actually use an object in text to track a position. So first I'm just going to drag a font down here and I'll just place it wherever I want. At the bottom of the screen is fine. I'm just going to leave the default value or text name here as is. I'm going to go into my built-ins and I'm also going to drag a geometry plugin down here. So I'm just going to use a sphere. I'll throw a color on it. And before I forget, let's go into our scene settings and drag our data pool scene setting into the plugin tab. So before I do anything else, I'm going to come into my sphere container here and I'm going to animate the position. So I'm just going to have the position start here on the left. I'm going to set a keyframe. I'm going to have it go to the right here. And I'm just going to go into the stage and maybe make it easier on myself and just say, okay, we want to swing this and we'll just do it to infinity. I'm going to go back into my built-ins, into the container plugins, into the data. This time what I want to do really is to track the position of this object, the sphere object, and have it reflect in the text. So first thing, I'm going to drag data text down here. I, again, can give it any name here in the field name. Let's just call it T because we're feeling lazy. And we're going to drag this object tracker down onto the sphere. I'm going to go into the object tracker and we're going to type T in there. We have a track type. We have a position, and since I animated it on the X coordinates, I'm going to go ahead and hit X. Now when I hit play, you can see how this all of a sudden affects the text, in that the text is changing as the sphere moves left and right. So if we go into the stage, we can kind of slow this down a little bit here, and we'll hit play again, and you can see now how the number is counting as the sphere moves across the screen. So let's stop that, and just to give you a quick example of another way that you can do this same thing, we'll just set up another geometry objects here. So we'll go into our geometry. Let's just use a torus this time, and we'll do something the same but a little bit different. We'll also want a font again, so I'll just drag this down, reposition it where I want it. Since we already have our data pool plugin in our scene settings, we can just go right into the built-ins, into the container plugins, the data folder, and again we want a data text, so I'm going to drag this down onto the text. We can give it any name we want. Again, I'm just going to type in T, and then we're going to drag the object tracker down here again. Before I do that, let's just set a quick rotation here, a quick rotation animation. So I'll go ahead and set a keyframe there. We'll rotate this once, set another keyframe. We'll come into our object tracker. We're going to type in T again to have it fulfill this text field. This time, instead of the track type being position, we want to go rotation, but we need to know which format or which way we rotated it. So if you weren't sure or you forget, just come back into your rotation in the transformation editor here and see that we rotated it on the X. So come back into the object tracker and say format is X or X. As I hit play, as this rotates, you can again see the changes that it reflects in the text. If we go into the stage, we can slow this down. We can turn on a loop or a swing, infinity, and as we hit play here, you can see how it affects the text once again. So it's a quick object tracker and a text data pool plugins.